PUAtraining.com.
So there's different variations of, groups when you're in a bar, different situations, and they can all be treated a little bit differently. If you're approaching girls and they're in a three, and there's one that you want, and it's the girl on the end, it's quite easy because you can just talk to the girl on the end, and the other two after a while will just start to speak to each other, and so you don't really have to engage the whole group. So if it's this girl or this girl, no problem. If it's the girl in the middle, you actually need to talk to the whole group. So you need to talk to the whole group, spread your attention to each one. It's very important, if I want to talk to the girl in the middle, that this girl likes me and this girl likes me, so that when I want to talk to her, they don't drag her away. To get her out of the group, I'm going to need to use some tricks, and they can be used, if you want to isolate a girl in any situation. So I could say, hang on, what color are your eyes? Come into the light, let me see better, or something like that. Some excuse to get her out. What shoes? Let me see, check out her shoes, her watch, something like that, to move her out of the group to here, and then I'm going to move her away so it's just me and her, and the rest of the girls can talk to each other. If it's 3 girls, 4 girls, 5 girls, it's all the same, because when you talk to one, the rest of the group can, hang out with each other, and it's not going to be a problem. The hardest is actually when it's 2 girls. If you're approaching 2 girls and they're friends, I can't just say, okay, let's go, leave her alone, because if they're good friends, girls like to stick together. So I need to talk to both of the girls, be nice to them, but give most of my attention to the one I like. A bit involve the other one sometimes, so I'm asking, where she's from. Oh, do you guys know each other from university or whatever it is? Bring her into the conversation from time to time, so she doesn't get bored, so that she likes me, so that she doesn't drag her friend away. If you get the impression that they want to talk to each other, they haven't seen each other for a long time, it might be the situation to just get her number and then leave them to it. If you've got a friend, then you can, both talk to them, that's no problem. But in the best situation, you would be talking to this one and the friend leaves and, goes to the bathroom or something like that to give you a chance to talk. If she does that, then you're in a fantastic situation. If not, and it's 2 girls alone and they won't leave each other, it's either best to, if you're alone, you're not with a friend, it's probably best to just go for the number. But if it's 3 girls, 4 girls, 5 girls, then you can always just talk to one and leave the rest to talk to themselves. Use get an IOI from a distance, or just approach the girl on the side, or talk to the whole group and take the one that you want out of the group. Let's talk a little bit about wingmanship. So ideally, if you're speaking to 2 girls, you're going to be with your buddy and you're going to follow a few rules. So when you're speaking as a group, come and meet the girls, Alex. It's very good if one guy starts the interaction, goes to speak to both of the girls, and then his friend comes in. When his friend comes in, he shouldn't pay too much attention to his friend, get into a private conversation, but also they shouldn't be talking as a group. It's very important that very quickly the guys peel off and each take one girl. So we might be speaking as a group, and then I'll say something like, oh, those are nice earrings that you've got, and I start talking to this girl, and at the same time Alex starts talking to his girl, and we have a situation where we're not in front of the girls anymore, we're to the side, I'm facing my girl, she starts to turn around and just be facing me, he's with his girl and she's facing him. And what this means is, if we start having a boring part of the conversation where I'm like, and it becomes really boring, she looks at her friend, have a look at these 2, they're having a lot of fun, so even if our conversation's boring, she doesn't run away, she stays and she stays talking to me. If we're talking as a group and one of the girls gets bored, it's much more easy for her friend to see, and they can drag the other one away. But like this, it can't happen. So remember, don't talk too much as a group. Don't talk too much to the guy that's with you. One of the guys should approach first, and the other one comes in, and then just quickly introduce. And then you want to peel away and take the girl that you're interested in, and he takes the girl that he's interested in. So when I'm out with Alex, is, you know, has an effect on what the girls think of me by what he says about me. So sometimes in the past he's tried to destroy it, but it's been really funny. So he's introduced me as what?
Well, sometimes I make a big joke out of it, like say, this is Richard, he's like a child murderer, he steals child's souls, he's a murderer, don't talk to him, sort of thing, but in a funny way, obviously. Pedophile, child murderer.
Local bender.
Yeah, the local bender one as well. But in a funny way, you gotta remember that, in a funny way.
Like, you know, so he'll say stuff like that, it's happened a few times, but then it's like my chance to turn it around. But that's only when he's like angry with me and wants to annoy me or something. No, it's only when he's being playful. But most of the time, something he does is really good because he's always being silly and joking, but then sometimes I'll leave the girl that I like with him and I'll, you know, go off to the toilet or go to meet another girl or something for 20 minutes.
Yeah, and then I say
come
just
back,
good things.
And while I'm not there, what do you say?
Rich is such a lovely guy, such a cool guy. Well
and
done
this
for meeting
honest
him.
face, do that to the camera, that honest, sincere face you do.
1-800. But honestly speaking, that's exactly what I've always done. When you go to the toilet, I'll do the joke stuff first.
Yeah.
When you go to the bathroom, then I'll do like the cool, real stuff. He's such a lovely guy, super genuine, blah, blah, blah. And then they come back thinking, well, hold on, what just happened? Sort of thing. So it's all cool.
It has a lot more effect when it's someone else talking about you. Obviously I can't say, oh hi, I'm a very nice guy. You can't do that. But when Alex does it, people believe it for that reason because it's someone else saying it, but people believe it for another reason because Alex is always joking, ha ha ha, and then he's like, no, but in all seriousness.
And the serious face.
And he does this serious face and he's talking about me in a nice way, and then he goes back to joking. But because it's 90% of the time he has this joking face, and then he's like, but really Richard is really,
yeah, of course, and it always works. It always works.
And they're like, oh really? And I come back and they're really,
so they hate you when they meet you because of the stupid jokes. They find it all funny. They come back, then they're in love with you.
And I always notice when I come back, it's a lot warmer because of the things that Alex has been saying. So if you have the opportunity with your wingman to just take a minute and have some, you know, some story with an example of a good character trait of his that you can say, then it's going to be really powerful and it's going to help your mate. So that's how to be a good wingman when you're out with someone that you're good friends with.
Very true.
And you all do get more girls if you act like that.
100%.
So we've got the girl that we're interested in, and a lot of guys have this stupid situation where they talk for a minute and the girl's really interested, she's sexy, she's maybe had some drinks, and the guy's like, okay, nice speaking to you, give me your number, and runs away. So let's talk a little bit about escalation. When you first approach the girl, the old mystery method thing is you're going to be over your shoulder, you're going to be to the side, and that's true if the girl is very shy. Yeah, you can do that. But in most cases, you're going to be quite close, there's going to be music playing, so you might have to lean in from time to time. And we're going to talk about how the touch escalates. Touching with the palm of the hand is always more intense than with the back of the hand. So if I'm talking, they can go all the way down the arm, even to the hand, and even on the front of the leg, the front of the hip, and in this area as well. If she's a girl and she's with her friends or a guy in the group and she doesn't want to show that she's doing too much with you, it's a very good touch to do that hand-to-hand because it's quite intimate, and we can be playing like that, but we can have serious faces and we're just talking like that and no one can see it, but we've got this contact here that is quite intimate, It's something that you don't do with friends. So we've got all of these simple touches with the back of the hand, and then the next kind that you've got is when you're getting a little bit closer, so you're talking in the ear, you're saying something, and you have an opportunity to touch her here, touch her on the head, and also touch her with your leg as you're leaning in. So you've got that full body contact of her all the way like that. In the beginning, your leg's on the outside, and later on it can even be on the inside, which is way more intimate. In a situation where you've been speaking for some time, you've gone through the preliminary touches, being closer and holding hands, pausing for a minute, having the eye contact, looking at the lips, moving the hair out of the way. All of these things will escalate it. And of course you've also got playful touches, so with a girl that has her boobs showing, I might take a step back and then someone pushes me and I pretend to touch her, something like this. Or I could have a drink in my hand and I could just be talking to her and I'm drinking my drink, and every time I drink my drink I'm kind of touching her, And in the beginning she might think it's by accident, and then she realizes what I'm doing, but I've got this smile, this cheeky face, so I get away with it. You don't want to stay in one place too long as well, so you know, be here talking like this, and then you can move to the dance floor. You can lead her and walk through like this, or you can hold her hand and walk through, and when you're holding the hand you can kind of stroke it and touch it in different ways to be more intimate, changing the way that you hold the hand. Finally, when it gets to the point when you're going to kiss her, a few different things that, you know, would make that last possible moment as intense as possible is to kind of hold both hands, to be close, to have the touch now more lingering. It's still soft, but it's maybe lingering and stroking, and you touch her around the neck and around the back of the head, and you're getting closer and closer, and you pause and you're not speaking, and finally you kiss each other. So it's leading up to it smoothly. A lot of guys, they don't touch at all and they're just thinking about kissing the girl, and then they kind of jump in. It's much nicer to do it in a smooth way. Lots of funny, stupid, playful things as well that I do. We've got this huge glass, but imagine it's the girl's drink and she's there like that, and I might say, oh, hang on a minute, don't drink it yet, let me just do something. There you go, like this, here you go, drink please, like that. Lots of stupid things like that I do that are quite extreme and playful, usually get a good reaction. I can get away with it, it's worked every time that I've done it, but maybe you want to play it by ear and not always do it. So that's how you escalate, again, starting with touches, you know, from a distance, the back of the hand, move into the hand, move into the front of the leg, moving more to be face to face, keeping that solid eye contact, moving the touches from here and then up closer to the face, around the back and in these areas, stepping in closer, having that contact between your legs. And those are the ways you can escalate all the way through the touch to the point where you actually kiss. Right guys, so you've watched part 2, and if you've watched all of this, then thank you for being a loyal viewer. Go ahead and subscribe if you want to get more videos as soon as they come out. But if you want to take your night game as far as it can possibly go, become an absolute master and be devastating when it comes to picking up girls in bars and clubs, then what you really want to do is click the link in the description and on the video if I can figure out how to do it, and you'll be taken to a page that tells you about stealth attraction. Stealth attraction is something I worked on for years. It is the absolute gold standard when it comes to seduction training, and the thing that I'm most proud of in all of my years of teaching. So go ahead and click the link and check it out. Otherwise, I'll be back with more free videos for you to watch on YouTube, and thanks again for watching.
Dream.